Welcome back to the channel, everyone. In my last video that I'm recording as the DoorDash Frankenstein monster. How exciting. Stitches come out Monday. Of course, tomorrow's video was pre-recorded, so this is it right here. Last week I wore the skull cap most of the week. This week I was able to wear a regular hat, so I didn't scare any DoorDash merchants or customers, and more importantly, I didn't frighten any young children. So outstanding, way to go. That's awesome. All right, got a action-packed video here for today's dash. Folks, it started off with a bang. I was like not only off and running at 6:15 in the morning, but it was just like a whirlwind of activity, and I'll try to get through the start of this dash. Okay, it's 6:15. When I normally, on Saturdays and Sundays, I usually don't start getting them this early. Good shopping orders like this. So I'm thinking now with Kroger in the mix, that maybe now I'll start logging in at 6 a.m. like every day. I kind of got away from it on Saturdays and Sundays because it was pointless. I wouldn't get it, hardly anything from 6 to 7. But check this out, $19.50, and each store I only got to shop for one thing. So I get to Kroger. Naturally, I go to the I'm still, managing my way through Kroger. We have, making it worse is we have two Krogers and they're different layouts. So I'm trying to get acclimated to shopping at Kroger. Naturally I go to the bakery department first to check on this and ask an associate about this, and she's like, oh, they're up at the self-checkout. So all I would have needed to do was walk through the front door and they were right there. But I mean, I didn't know. And then I get to Meijer just 6 minutes later. It's just right across the street. And I just got to get some wipes. So easy. Well, they hold on a second though. they try to stack a $4 Starbucks decline. Okay. Now I drop off. I think I dropped off the donuts here at 6:45. Okay. Then there's this. And I think I went ahead. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I guess the madness didn't start with this first stacked offer. Okay, so I must have dropped off the. I told you guys a couple seconds ago that it's just so confusing and everything thrown at me, and then I gotta muddle my way through this first part of this. So okay, now this makes sense. Okay, so I dropped off the Meijer at 6:58. Did not get a screenshot of the final pay breakdown because this offer came in. Thank you very much, DoorDash. I've talked about that pet peeve of mine, and I wish they would stop doing that and put a fix to that. Okay, so 43 minutes, I made my $19.50. Okay, so I guess that wasn't too crazy in the first hour. Now it gets a little bit more crazier. Two Kroger shops, 27 bucks, 10 miles, 44 things to shop for. Let's do it. I'm feeling brave. Get to Kroger, 8 minutes later. There's the breakdown. Went ahead and used my catering bag to split the shopping cart on this one. And so the first part of this, all this stuff in produce, I went around and got that. And then starting, you see here, I got about 9 things shopped in produce. And pretty much today, everything like in the dry aisles, well, pretty much everything except like produce and bakery has like aisles and locations. So that's really pleasant surprise and thing to see here. So now I'm still like okay, so you see like the L and R's, that's left and right, okay? Um at both locations, I'm not seeing the bay numbers in any of the dry aisles. So and it might have been on this shop, if not this Kroger trip, maybe the next one. But I had some frozen stuff. I went down one frozen aisle and it was labeled, and I could find everything and went right to the section numbers. You had L on one side, R, and I saw the bay numbers at the top, and easy as could be. I get into the next frozen aisle over, and like both sides are either both L's or both R's. Like, what? This doesn't make any sense. I'll get used to this. It's going to take me a little while. When I first started shopping Aldi's, I was like, man, am I ever going to get to where I become good at shopping at Aldi's? This seems like really challenging to me. But folks, now I would consider myself like a first degree black belt shopper in Aldi's. Okay, Meyer, I'm probably like third or fourth degree black belt. And Kroger, I'm just like like a yellow, but yellow or brown or whatever the lowest level color. That's what. Now I'm just a baby in Meyer right now, but I'll get the hang of this too. It's going to take some time here. There. Okay, there was some seasonal stuff in here. There was these two things. There was also some seasonal cupcake wrappers or whatever. I found those. But this I couldn't find. It said it was supposed to be in the aisle with the rest of the cake mixes and frostings, but it wasn't. And I tracked down two guys who were like really extremely helpful. They practically walked around the whole store looking for this. They thought that it would only be in two places. This aisle that it like the cake aisle or the seasonal where I found the wrappers. And they said it shouldn't be anywhere else. And the one guy said it was showing they had these on hand, but he had no idea where they would even be. Fortunately, in the substitutions, customer approved substitutions, I was able to substitute like regular cupcake mix and frosting. Okay. And then had this shopped at 7:51. So it seemed like this shop lasted like over an hour. It's what it seemed like. But where did I start shopping it? Okay, so 7:06. So this was like 45 minutes. So, but that's, 45 minutes for 54 things. That's really good. I did really good, and that's including the 4 or 5 minutes that we were messing around with, the trying to find the seasonal cupcake stuff. Had the first order dropped off at 8:11. Okay, and then I get a McDonald's add-on. So yeah, let's go ahead and do it. So 570, not even adding a mile. So I get to the McDonald's. What actually you see here, I get to the McDonald's just 1 minute later. That first drop off, the customer just lived behind the McDonald's. So I just swung around the corner, picked this up. Okay. Then they stack another McDonald's. Well, let's and this was it. This 6 minutes later. I'm not sure where I'm heading. I'm probably heading to deliver this McDonald's at this point. I'm not really sure, but I go ahead and take this as well. Okay. Here, I think I drop off the first McDonald's. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And I no pay screen. I don't know why. Just no pay screen. So I don't know what happened there. Okay, now I get to this is the other McDonald's. So after I drop off the first McDonald's, now I'm off to the other part of my zone to pick up the other McDonald's at 8:28. Okay, then that delivers next at 8:36. And then 5 minutes later, I deliver the second Kroger. So, so this all started at you might as well say 7 o'clock. So an hour and 40 minutes. I wasn't making good time on the Kroger stack by itself. I was gonna go over an hour on this for the $27. But with those add-ons, this ended up being an hour and 40 minutes, and I made 27 plus about $10, whatever the other one was. Close to $40, something like that. Um, and you know, my brain was starting to get racked, but I'd rather have it like this. I'd rather have it super busy and I almost can't keep up with the offers. And also, you know, you can, if there's, you know, tons and tons and tons of offers, you can cherry pick at that point. But so but at the same time it's just you're not used to that, and like I felt like a headache starting to come on because it's like, you know, everything's, you know, going so fast and being thrown at you here. A minute later, $4 Bob Evans decline. uh this didn't look too bad. 1850, 7 miles, Family Dollar, and Aldi's, and not too many things at either place. And so I forgot to mention a video or two ago, Family Dollar. That's new to the mix. You know, we just had Kroger added, and now Family Dollar. So previously, I've only done Family Dollar a couple times, and that was on Uber. So yeah, I bring on, because I that's my that's what I prefer. That's my preference, is the shopping orders. So yeah, bring on every place that you can. Bring Walmart back onto DoorDash. You know, I know they got their Spark drivers and everything, but hey, send DoorDash drivers. Well, on second thought, I don't know. Do I really want to start shopping at Walmart? And our Walmart Stringtown Road, and you know, I don't know. I don't. Forget I said that. Just yeah, let's just leave Walmart alone. Okay, so okay, guys. Let's take a drink here, and before I tell this story, okay, 5 items. I don't know what this scallop container is. You know, a container of scallop potatoes or what? You know, I don't, no idea what that's going to be. Next screenshot, there it is. There's the scallop container and a note from the customer. Could you try to fit everything I got into this basket, please? Appreciate it so much. So the way this is worded, she's kind of, you know, could you try to fit it in there? It's, you know, I don't know if it's going to fit or not, but could you try? I don't think I've ever gotten an order like this before. Okay, so again, let's go back to this. Okay, so you got a couple of Andy Capp's hot fries and a box of hydration sticks and a package of Halloween candy that she wants in there if possible. An item's been added. Okay? You weren't sure if what was your order was going to fit in there or not. Let's just add more items to the shop. It makes a lot of sense to me. Okay, thank you very much. And I'm trying to be a trooper about this, and okay, whatever. Now, fortunately, I found everything else before that container, and fortunately, there was an associate that was like really extremely helpful. I should have told her too that, hey, thank you so much. I couldn't have done this shop without you. Yada yada. I should have said that to her, but I didn't because I just, I was trying. I was messaging this customer and trying to follow the steps and this and that, and it's kind of hectic. um, what's okay? So I think I added this 450 McDonald's. What's the next screenshot here? Okay. I think I added that. Okay. So we had this container was, the associate said, was moved to clearance. So we went to the clearance section. It wasn't there. It was sold out. And then there was a couple other containers similar. And what I did was I sent messages to the customer with we put all the items in a couple different bowls to show her what it looked like, and she chose this bowl here. All right. Okay, then at 9:09 I pick up the McDonald's. Let's move these all over. All right. And deliver the McDonald's. So again, I'm having McDonald's thrown into the mix while I'm trying to do this other stuff. So $4.50, $2, and a $2.50 tip. Okay, let's just get rid of that. Okay. Then I go to the Aldi's. Okay, this was easy. It looks like a lot of items here, but I don't think I had anything. Looking through here, no, I don't think there's anything on this list that was like in the middle of the store. This was just all around. Like all I did was walk the perimeter. And what was this? This was a 9-minute shop. Done. Okay. They try to stack a $3 White Castle, not doing that. Okay, and then I get another McDonald's. And so what? I still got both of the shopping orders in my car, and I've already picked up and delivered another McDonald's. Now I get this other one. Oh, let me back up here. The Aldi's. I don't know why. I got everything exactly as it was on the list or whatever. My red card got declined. The only thing I can think of was there was some eggs, and not on the cold, like the doors or whatever to where you get the eggs. There wasn't anything that the store posted, but in the app it said like for the eggs it's maximum 2 per order, but there was a quantity of 3 listed. I don't know why, but like I said, the store didn't have any sign or anything with a maximum quote, so I got 3. So I don't know if that possibly is what caused the red card to decline because there was an extra dozen of eggs. I don't know, but it got declined, and so So I got out to the car and I thought I'd call DoorDash support. I paid with my own money, my own account, and I thought I'd call support right when I got to the car. Not, but not even go to McDonald's or the next steps first. Um, and so I called DoorDash support, and the automated system basically hung up on me. They said, are you calling in as a dasher? Yes, and the reimbursement for a declined red card. And then it just says, we see that you're on a McDonald's order, and since McDonald's is prepaid, you don't need to use your red card. Goodbye. And it just hung up on me. So then I had to go in and pause orders after delivery. I was going to have to deliver all these orders and before I could call. Okay, so 9:36 I get this, but the next step is before picking up the McDonald's is dropping off the Family Dollar. Okay, that's at 9:45. Okay. Then I pick up 5 minutes later, pick up the McDonald's. I think I deliver the McDonald's next. Yes, at 10 o'clock. So that just takes 10 minutes. That's pretty good right there. 10 minutes for $8.09. Okay, $3.50 and a $4.59 tip. Okay. Deliver the Aldi's at 10:08. $12 from DoorDash, $6.50 on the Aldi's tip. Folks, there it is right there on the Family Dollar. Thank you very much. Most of the time, the zero tips, most of the time, 98% of the time, it doesn't bother me. Okay, most of the time, it doesn't. I accept these offers based on what like the total pay is, and so if it's money's all from DoorDash or if there's a tip or no tip, I make my decisions based on the offer and how much time and mileage and those type of things. So whatever the breakdown, most of the time I don't care. But on something like this, where and I forgot to mention a couple things about this Family Dollar. So that as far as make sure everything fits in the bowl, that was not only in the instructions, but also the customer messages me that in a message when I get to the store. So there was that. And I took the different pictures in the different bowls and sent it to her. And then, after I checked out, then there's another message from the customer to knock on the door when I get there. And like a trooper, okay, yeah, okay, fine. And I complete all the steps, and I'm cooperative and helpful and everything. And this just on this particular order just really perturbed me, to say the least. So thank you very much. So whatever I made from wherever like all this began, what time did all this begin? I can't even talk right. Okay, so 8:42 to 10:08. It was like an hour and a half or something. So 1850, and then like one of them was like an $8, $7 McDonald's, the other McDonald's, however much I made in that time. I don't know, guys. But at 10 o'clock, I'm at $88, which is pretty good. Because normally in the past, I would start at 7 a.m. So I'd just be like 3 hours in and hope to be at like, $75 ideally. And here I'm at 88. Now I started at six, a little after 6, but um, okay. So then I paused, and it took about to call DoorDash support took about 8 minutes. Last time this happened to me, they I just got a hold of somebody, explained the situation. They immediately just refunded the money. This time he sent me an email and wanted me to email back with a photo of the receipt. The thing was, I didn't have a good signal. Thank you very much, Verizon, for that. So I had to drive away. Once I got a signal, I got his email. It just took a minute. I attached the receipt. He got it right away. Boom, refund or reimbursement, I should say, and done. Um, the only thing I don't know, and I was talking to my wife, I don't have these very often, but if you were to have these often, if you had throughout the course of a whole year, if you had like $1,000 worth of reimbursements from red card declines, is I would hope DoorDash separates that out from your income when they send you that 1099, because like I think this order it was either like 57 or $59. I paid for it with my own account and then got reimbursed. But is that gonna that $59? Is that gonna when are they gonna include that in my total for the year? If it's just like less than a couple $100, I mean, it's really either way, it's not any real big deal. But if you had to do that frequently, um, but anyway, okay. $9 9 mile PetSmart going to Obet's decline. Um, Not going down to Mount Sterling for only $15 decline. Um, Again, this Home Depot 975 9.5 mile decline. I'd have the mileage back. Um, 525 4 mile McDonald's. Let's do it. And pet peeve, thank you very much. Drop that off at 10:37. No pay screen because of this order coming in. So thank you very much. As I've said a million times before, I cannot stand that, but I made 525 between 10:19 and 10:37. Okay. Catering order from McDonald's. Okay. So let's do it. Only 4 miles. It's going to probably be at least $10. So this was kind of scary and concerning here, folks. This is the first time from because I've had White Castle catering order, a couple McDonald's, um, and this is the first time that it's been like a bunch of meals. But before, the McDonald's catering order is like it'd be like at breakfast time, and you'd have like 15 or 20 burritos and 10 or 15 sausage McMuffins and 30 hash browns, or like there wouldn't be drinks. And so check this out. So count them up. There's 10 meals, and there's going to be 10 drinks on this, plus the down here the hotcakes and sausage, the sausage McMuffin, 6 hash browns, and I cut off as uh, two. It just said like sausages. I'm guessing sausage patties. So I took both catering bags into the store. I didn't know a couple concerns here. I didn't know how many sacks this was going to be, and were they going to how long was I going to have to wait on this? Sometimes you have to wait 3 or 4 or 5 minutes for them to just fix one order with like one meal. And then I've had 10-minute drops at McDonald's. The store was busy, so, I don't. Good luck with this. But I was willing to wait, you know, I was willing to wait a little bit longer, like 15, 20 minutes on this one. Um, so anyway, so I get in there and it was just 3 sacks. And it was just a normal like 2 3 minute wait. They were finishing up it as I got there. It was 3 sacks. They told me that the 10 drinks was in 2 sacks, and then supposedly all of the food was in the third sack. I took their word for it. It's sealed bags. We're not supposed to check. Yeah, I took their word for it. The sack didn't seem that heavy. It didn't seem to me like all of that stuff, all of the food for 10 meals plus those extra things would have all been in that one sack. But hey, they said it was. Um, it was leave at the door, and the customer came out as I was during the delivery process and taking my picture, and then I told him, what the staff told me. So, hopefully they got everything, and $12. So $2 from DoorDash, $10 tip. And at this point, I'm at $105. Okay, I'm gonna stop it here for right now. I'm leaving to here in about a half hour to go meet my wife for dinner. So after I come back from that, I will shoot a part 2 and finish the rest of this dash. Post it later tonight. That'll be members only. If you're not already a member, I'll put a link in the description for this video how you can become a member, folks. You don't want to miss any of the excitement. You don't want to miss any of the drama, any of the bad orders, the declines, the all of the DoorDash shenanigans or whatever that I go through. The second half is action packed as well. So if you're not already a member, consider joining. Don't miss anything. Real quick, one other change to tomorrow. I was originally going to do like a 6 to 9 a.m. tomorrow. I'm canceling that because we're going to be leaving earlier tomorrow to go out of town. So no dash at all tomorrow. And tomorrow's video is already recorded, uploaded, scheduled, everything. I think I scheduled it for 2 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. Is tomorrow's video, so check that out. Thanks so much, guys, for watching. As always, be sure to drive safe out there, and we'll catch you at the next video. Thanks again.